Welcome to another episode of the Angels Positivity and Love Show. Incredible guests the world over with amazing insights, incredible experiences, and much more to share with all of us. Although I'd argue it's their high vibe, their big hearts, and their service to others that makes this show so much fun, having their wisdom shared with all of us. Today, no exception, coming to us from Arizona, ELAINE Yoshikawa. She wears many hats. She's a spiritual teacher, mystic, if you want to call her that, ever since she was a young adult. She's had experiences with the universe. She's paid attention, and she's expanded in a bunch of fun directions. She loves crystals, crystal skulls as well. And she's super knowledgeable on a bunch of fronts. I always enjoy having her on the show, and we've had light pass by on one of the interviews. So go back and check out our other episodes. The details will be below the video. And if you could, please subscribe and get a few friends to subscribe. We're nearing 3,000 subscribers. You're hearing this in February of 2026. Happy New Year to everyone. And ELAINE, great to see you again.
Thanks for having me back.
Okay, so what do people need to know about this whole spiritual journey? And whether they know it or not, they're on it fully all the time. What do people need to know about this whole being human thing and the spiritual path?
Being human thing. Yeah. So, well, I don't know if it's nice, but what's going to be happening in 2026 is there is a whole nother level of vibrations coming in. They're emerging patterns that haven't been on this planet before. And so it's the first time that that humanity, um, the world over, can grasp on to these new emerging patterns. And so, and this is something their soul has been waiting for. I feel like we all know at some level that there's more to life. Uh, those of us who came down here in order to help at this particular time, we're here to help people remember as as we are remembering ourselves. Um, so this idea of being human, well, yes, we are, but a lot of us are not as human as we think. And so these new energetic patterns, these new higher frequencies, energetic frequencies, what they're going to do is kind of shake us, and they're going to loosen all those habits that we've been um, using as our template to live every day. So we have these routines. Usually human beings love routines because that way they don't have to think as much. It's not as hard. You just go through your routines. But the energies now, they're going to pick them up and just shake out all the old patterns, the old behaviors, the old belief systems, um, and try to make room for what's coming next. And what's coming next is the expansion into spiritual beings. I mean, that's what this is all about anyway. Um, all the religious traditions, they all point to being virtuous. They all point to moral goodness. And so one of the things I do is I teach ethics at the university level. And what I try to do is to help students see that ethical behavior is not just about being good for good's sake alone. It's it's really about taking a path from your human self into the spiritual dimension. Um, so that's one of the paths of getting toward of going towards this new kind of era that we're going to be exposed to in 2026, at least the beginnings. It's ramping up already. uh, I can feel the energies that are just pushing pushing us into these higher dimensions. And we always have a choice. This is still free will. But if you choose not to ride this particular wave, it's going to make life a little bit more difficult, because that resistance is going to create pain and suffering where it doesn't need to be. So my advice is to just flow with these new energies that are coming. And what it's going to do is it's going to change your identity. You're going to think that you're one thing and then realize you're another thing. And that I know that transition is hard because you're shaking off all the past beliefs and patterns. But this is what humanity as a whole is doing now. This is the time for it. It's also the Earth. She's being shaken up as a planetary being. She's going up to the next level as well. So 2026 is going to be incredibly powerful in many dimensions. And it doesn't have to be as hard as it looks. And it's going to be up to you whether you want to just sort of flow with what's going on, or if you try to resist it, like I said before, it's going to make life a little bit more challenging.
I have so many questions I want to ask, but we're gonna have to wait on some of those. They are going to come up later. I want to stick to the highest intent here and maybe bring in a couple angels. If there are no accidents and synchronicity is just, everywhere, like Three Eye Atlas or any of the other interstellar objects passing through the universe or just other occurrences, can I put up three angels for background? Joy, Charlotte, and Minn in case there's extra chiming in. You already are fully connected how you roll. But you've also met these angels before. Is there something you could add for us how we're truly getting all the help in the universe, all the support? This isn't about money. This isn't about power, conflict, harm, or judgment, or hating people, or reacting, or rejecting, which it seems to be really in full swing right now. Like, it'd be easy to be like, I'm not a New York Jets fan. I love the Giants. The Jets suck. And you're telling us we're actually might be changing not even team allegiances. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Arizona Cardinals. Sure, I guess I could see being a fan one day. You might be getting out of football altogether into European football or out of sports. Who knows? What can you tell us? What's next on this?
Okay, so you're talking about all these divisions that human beings love, because that puts them into categories. I'm a fan of this, and then if you're a fan of that same team, let's say Arizona Cardinals. So if you're a fan of the Arizona Cardinals and there are other people who are fans of Arizona Cardinals, you could get together and you have something common. And that's very human. You're creating a community for yourself. And that would be true with video games, with music that you like, everything, right? We just go into all these different categories and we define ourselves by these categories, whether you're a Democrat or a Republican or independent. Again, these are and at this point, there are harder harder lines, I guess, around each of those concepts. Because if you're one, you can't stand the other. Yeah, that's all going to be broken down.
Oh.
It's not necessary. What is necessary is that they be shown to us that we do this, right? Way back when, for example, Democrats and Republicans, they may have different ideologies, but they still liked each other. They still respected each other. They worked together. Not so much now. Okay. But what I think is really educational is that we see clearer those divisions when it's more extreme. Um, and so we need to be able to see these things in order to heal things. So any kind of, let's go down to the psychological level, any kind of trauma, wound, um, anything that needs healing. If it's hidden and suppressed, we can't see it and we can't deal with it. So it has to be acknowledged first. And then once you acknowledge it, once you say, yes, I'm an addict, once you say, yes, I shop too much, it's only then that you can actually do something about it. And it's your choice. You may want to continue on in your same behaviors, but if you want to treat yourself better, if you're looking for long-term benefits, what you're going to try to do is heal, to acknowledge and heal, do something about it. And that's what we're doing now on a global scale. So we have gotten to a point where I think we became complacent, at least in the United States. So it was kind of like a lot of people were living a very satisfactory life, given their goals, particularly financial goals. And so, people the majority didn't think much about how the minorities were living. And so with and this is kind of sensitive, but when you factor in things like racism, a lot of people didn't want to believe that the US still had racist tendencies. Okay, so now we can see, right, where when we're looking at immigration policies and how the administration is talking about these people, these souls who are kind of trapped in that system. Before, we didn't have all these ways of seeing what was going on underneath. And now that it's come to surface, how many people look about the transgender issues, things like that. There's a lot of negative emotions that arise. And so we need to look at that. We can't keep all of that hidden underneath. And so, at this point, I just think that it's a good thing that everything is being exposed. It's not pretty. Of course, it's not pretty. But this is the first step toward acknowledging, okay, this exists. Some people still don't acknowledge it, but that's okay. But if we get the tipping point, if we get the enough people, enough souls to realize this is still going on, we can make a difference.
Maybe look at South Africa, which has had the pendulum swing back and forth in so many ways, from total control, one racial population, to then the other direction. And yet they did have that commission in which, if shared what you did, you were forgiven. But the pendulum has swung the other direction now. So in a way, it's almost the details don't matter. There's a human tendency towards control, rules, corruption, greed, and so on. Maybe you could talk at that level, because South Africa is such a great example of it's been every way now. And there's people being harmed regardless of skin color. It's just whoever's in control can sometimes abuse their power. And I think we're seeing that in every state now,
Yes.
in terms of corruption, and huge, vast, in the trillions possibly, for corruption now on all sides, and to the point where maybe you'd want to unplug the TV or social media. So let's look at South Africa, or just the human condition. And could you talk back to the original point? Our opportunity for growth is what? And there are people who are locked in their thinking money is good. And there's nothing wrong with money. But when you were talking vast amounts of corruption and hurting others, could you address that?
Yeah, that's a huge topic. And so I think to make it more relatable, we need to go down to the individual levels. Um, it's actually it's actually simple when you reduce it, but I understand that there is a huge complex system. Um, but there was a reason why that system was built in the way that it was. So you have individual players,
Mm.
and they have these values. And one of the values is you want to make as much money as you can. Money is a good. And, I don't have a quarrel with that so much. Um, Money itself is neutral. It's what you do with the money, it's the intent that's behind uh, the procurement of money. If you're, for example, if you're making money because you see that it should be distributed differently, you make money so that you can donate to charities, so that you can help people. In that instance, I see money as a good. Um, if you Again, if it's a different person and they're procuring money because there's a need in them that money fulfills. Maybe they don't have enough self-esteem. Maybe they need to feel like they need more money in order to show that they're a good person, or that they're worthy, or whatever. Money can be a psychological kind of extension to that person, and it becomes their identity. They have to have this money. They have to be in a certain socioeconomic stratus to feel good about themselves. Um, if you start believing that, your actions are going to be aligned with that kind of belief system. And then, and along with money is power. So, that's another way of showing, of giving yourself a sense of status and self-esteem, self-worth, because you're controlling other people. And I don't like the word control so much, but if you control other people, if you're in a corporation and you're high up, you get to tell other people what to do, basically, what you want them to do. And if they don't, there are repercussions. And again, that's all built up on the ego needing that as a way of proving yourself. And I think the capitalistic mindset here in the United States is kind of geared towards that. The more money you make, the better the better you are as a person, which is skewed, because it doesn't necessarily, if you have a lot of money, it doesn't necessarily mean you're a good person. It just means you have a lot of money. So
Let's do this. Let's have three angels interject with something that contributes to the dialogue. I'll put up Charlotte first, and you can go verbatim from her. She'll just add something that'll help steer this a little. Here's Charlotte, an angel. She's everybody's favorite school teacher from third grade, third form, if you're in New Zealand right now watching. What are you getting from Charlotte that just slices right into the topic?
about greed.
Oh, just about mankind, human nature, what's ahead, growth, opportunities for growth. There are certainly people who are going to stick to control systems and other stuff. But what's the big picture for mankind?
Right. And so the way you get out of this need for too much, I mean, it's not, I don't feel that it's something that's really consciously done, because so much of how we're raised is part of the system, and you don't even realize what your values are. And so what's coming in are the energies of love at a much higher level. So I think when I'm talking about love, I'm not talking about love the way most people talk about it. And this would be from the prior years or prior eras, I guess. Moving forward, what we're looking at is a spiritual kind of love. And that kind of love doesn't have room for greed or corruption or harming others. And again, it really goes back to ancient religious traditions. It's all there. What's happened is we've kind of gone off path, and what's spiritual wasn't valued. Spiritual values weren't valued, aren't valued. So yeah, so what's coming up next is really a turn towards the heart, a turn towards loving other people, loving other souls, not seeing people as human beings, seeing other people as souls.
Here's Archangel Michael. If we could have him contribute to the dialogue a little bit. What are you getting verbatim before we go broader?
Hmm. Okay, so I focus on humanity because that's really my area. This is why I came down, incarnated here. And typically I've done so several times to help humanity during these periods. But there's also the other elements as well. So you have nature, you have the earth itself, you have rocks. I'm very connected to rocks and crystals, and there's like many branches that are coming out of that. So number one, going back to the Native American traditions, where everything was imbued with spirit, including rocks, right? And so how we treat things around us is really an expression of what's inside of us. And so the idea is that people who are attuned to nature, they're attuned to a different aspect of themselves, and there's more of a call to unity, of being unified with nature, being unified with all aspects of nature. And then now they're showing me the quantum field. Everything vibrates. In quantum mechanics, they tell you everything vibrates, even material objects. And so in order to get this coherence of human beings with the environment, human beings have to be more open to the idea that, for example, your car has consciousness. You could actually affect your car, right, by your presence. And you're doing it at the quantum level. You don't necessarily have to know all about the technical aspects of it, but it's really your intention. If you intend to communicate with your car because you believe your car has consciousness, which I think it does, you can have a marvelous relationship with it. And it will take care of you as you take care of it.
I love it. Two more angels. An angel named Minn, who's ocean light or light waves of energy in water. Mother Hawaii, if people prefer silhouette of an angel, actual photo. Her first name is like Minnesota, the Lakota Sioux word for water. What's Minn's broad perspective on everything?
She's showing me the universe. Uh, so I'm going to go with the word coherence. We can make our lives much easier if we align with the highest potential, the highest energy fields, the highest frequencies that are presented to us. And so, we always have choices. Usually, most of the time, the decisions that we make, we actually do have these choices of choosing the best path for us or choosing the best object to buy or whatever that decision happens to be. And so when you're aligned with the universe, number one, you get all these synchronicities. Number two, you can see what's best on that path. And so what she wants is for that coherence to be embodied. And so you can do all the research. Let's say you're trying to choose a car for yourself. You can do all the research, but there's also a faster way. If you're aligned and you just picture each of your choices, and you're aligned with the universe, the best possible car for you will just shine. And that's the decision. And usually that will cohere with all the research you've done.
I have Geronimo. And how is this more about, again, love, heart, compassion, not judging, in spite of if you lived in China or North Korea or the EU? You could argue that there's censorship laws going on everywhere now, even in the US in a way, if it's the media. Without putting our focus on that, though, too much, how does Geronimo take that contrast and show us or talk about us, and with Michael maybe coming in, how are we protected? How is it not about all the details, all the this and that? It's more about something else, that inner fearless, peaceful warrior quality that's in all of us. But can you address mankind can make things really complex, and this isn't about complexity?
That's right. It's about simplicity. It's about being your essential self. But sometimes it's not easy to get there because we have so much conditioning and programming and hidden beliefs and assumptions and presuppositions that we need to sort of jump out of in order to see more clearly. So yeah, I think I'm trying to understand what oh, okay. So I'm going to go um, a little bit outside of the universe, outside of this world,
Okay.
and the idea that star beings, they're they're sending a lot of energy down, as well as all these other aspects, planets and suns and all this stuff that's coming down, and from the angelic realms. But there's also from the ET communities. Um, they have a view. I mean, there are actually many ET communities out there. And so, um, and that means they have different, um, uh, they actually don't use the word systems. That's what human beings use.
Flows.
Flows, yeah, okay. Um, the, their own, each has their own civilization codes
Mm.
and flows, um, and actually, the higher you go in the angelic realms, you get very different ones again. So, all of this is very fluid. Sometimes they mesh with each other. And so you've got these incredibly complex frequencies
Mm.
that are being created just for us at this time, for this period, this time. So um, if we're open to that, this the this will help individuals, believe it or not. This will help individuals to experience themselves in a very different way. And you don't necessarily have to be intentional about it. It's just going to be in the air. And there are going to be people around. There are people around who are placed in different parts of the earth who are like beacons.
Mm.
And they're transmitting these different frequencies from these different uh, cosmic, they're planets or
Elements.
elements.
Different elements of the cosmos.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Uh, I thought you were using it in another way. So there's the different elements in the cosmos, and they're all coming together, and it's being like radio towers, right? Being transmitted. And all we have to do as individuals is to tap into that source. We sort of tap into that frequency, and it will help us to deprogram ourselves,
Hmm.
to remember, and that's a huge, that was a huge word. That it's we're supposed to be remembering in 2026 and to embody what's necessary in order to go forward into 2027. I mean, 2027 is like light years beyond 2026.
Time itself might not even quite be the same if you
Oh,
really
it's
think about
not.
it.
Absolutely not.
So let me do one more hypothetical because I am circling around on this one and I want to be as gentle as I can. If anyone's ever seen the Richard Dreyfuss comedy film Moon Over Parador, then let's talk about the people of Parador. Well, a dictator dies in the country no one knows except for his handler in the country that the dictator's dead. They keep him in a meat locker and they hire the best New York actor who looks like him, Richard Dreyfuss. It's an 80s movie. It's so cute. He gets brought down for the lead role of a lifetime, pay him a lot of money, but he kind of realizes he's not allowed to leave. He's now the dictator. Everyone thinks it's the real dictator, it's the actor dictator. So he's running a country. And a few people figure it out. It's a great comedy, almost Shakespearean level. And let's talk about Parador. It's a country in Latin America. We're making it up. It's a combination of countries, but they have a controlled media. They have limited everything power this, corruption that, money this. The drama never ends. Somebody speaks up too much, get assassinated. What do we do in that situation? I'm a citizen of that country where everything, $1 trillion grabs everywhere. It's a free for all. It no longer matters if you're a New York Jets, New York Giants fan, or anything else. What's the message? If I can put up 10 angels or Native American chiefs, can we get quick messages for the population of Parador? Anybody tuning in? Well, how do we keep our chin up? How do we just remember it's in the moment? It's not about the details. Don't put your focus where you don't want to put your focus. What is the message from like a Heather to the population of Parador? In spite of all the details, the angst, the harm going on, the conflict, the judging, and worse, what's Heather have? She's compassion, makes hearts in her photos. What's Heather have as a reminder for not just the citizens of Parador, but for all of us?
It's not about the outside, it's about the inside.
Okay, and here's Heather in a different way as a heart in light energy form. Can you put that into plain English that it's okay to trust that you're maybe protected, connected to the universe? It's bigger than the external details, to stand in your own authentic light? What's that message? How can a person who's facing repression on the outside at a societal level, maybe they know it, maybe they don't, how can they stand in their own light and trust more and allow more? And Heather's good for this. She makes hearts in her photos, folks. You can close your eyes, you can see a heart, she'll bring it in, or you can look up on your ceiling, get a heart. You want to see her full on, look outside the window. I saw her as a human in Sweden in 2000, Hawaii, Vegas. I saw her as a human in Austin and one other place, New York City. Every time it was entertaining, and my jaw dropped. There's the usual rub of what will you allow for daily, but there's an external rub where society can get a little frictional, to say the least. There's a lot of actors doing a lot of acting out there. What's Heather's message for us all?
Yeah, so the centering, staying centered in your own truth. But first, you have to realize what the truth is for yourself.
Hmm.
Um, they're just showing me a big crystal. And that crystal is connected to all these other beings and all these other um, galactic type uh, races. I don't think I have anything more to say um, than the idea of staying centered within what you know is essential to yourself.
I like that a lot. That's good message. I've got two angels, Dale and Mack. Don't call her Mackenzie. Everything plants, animals, and nature for the green light energy form angel here, Mack. And Dale coached everybody. If you want to think of him as an actor, think of Greg Kinnear. If you don't know who Greg Kinnear is, he'll say George Clooney, fine, but he prefers Greg Kinnear. These two will weigh in, and what's their message for everyone as they go through their day-to-day living?
Yeah, inner peace. It's again staying centered within, um, realizing that what's outside is, I don't like to use the word illusion because, when you believe something is real, it doesn't feel like it's an illusion. But if you look at it from different perspectives, particularly from the higher perspectives,
Mm,
you start seeing that it doesn't have as much, you don't, you can lessen your attachment to things.
mm.
And that's a good starting point.
Okay, I'm going to bring in Rebecca. She's from really far out, where music came from, way beyond Andromeda Orion, but an angel today. There's four balls of light in there, and I don't know if it'll reflect very well, but I'll see if I can find a photo to kind of show what those balls of light look like with two different angels. But there's a ball, a ball, a ball, and a ball. Rebecca's got something to weigh in on here. What does she want to share?
Oh, how strong everybody is.
Aw, I
A
like that.
lot of people don't, yeah, they don't acknowledge their own strength because, well, what we do is we give away our power.
Ooh, that would be the next question then. Um, Here's red shirt. How can we not give away our power? And if you could use there are a lot of narratives. Narrative, 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 narrative. All of society is narratives. How do we step away from narratives and not give away our power, our beliefs, or support something we have no idea what we're supporting? And Red Shirt's the gentlest mom in the world, Native American chief, unconditional love, compassion, 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 wearing a U.S. presidential medal, real historical photo. What else could I say? Just the gentlest, gentlest, loving figure in the world. What's the narrative of the heart that we need to believe in? Love.
Yes, we need to uh, we need to believe in it. We also need to embody it. Um, if you embody love, you don't disempower yourself. You don't give your power away. But the problem is how do you embody love?
Or the opportunity is.
So the the idea is that you really okay, the reason why each person, each individual is strong within themselves, even though they may not believe it, is that they have an aspect of God within themselves. And that's the potential that that's sort of like the guiding light. And so whenever you don't trust yourself, whenever you don't give yourself enough credit, and you look towards the outside, towards an authority figure or towards the system or towards society, and they give you answers that you accept without, really thinking about it, then that's when you lessen your power, your individual power.
Beautiful. Beautiful. So also, it's just making sure as often as possible you step away from doubt, fear, worry, rejection, all those lesser frequencies. So here's Claire, who's resilience or clarity, if you wish. Purple ball light here, but another angel. She's fantastic. Let's let her take this ball, if it's a football metaphor, and we're at the halfway point on the field, the 50-yard line. Let her run the ball a little bit down the field. What does Claire have to add to the conversation?
Pruning.
Oh, I love this. Tell us about pruning.
So, mm, in order to embody love, to be to um, to live in your truth, to live in your essence, you have to get rid of, and this goes back to the theme we were talking about before. You have to get rid of all the misidentifications of your identity, um, the past habits, the past belief systems, the things that don't work anymore. And, as you experience life, you start feeling whether or not you're living in your own truth, because the more you live in your own truth, the more joy and happiness you feel. There are a lot of people who don't feel that joy and happiness. Um, so what happens is that there's the pruning involved. That's the idea of cutting away all those things you don't need, all those things that are extraneous, all those things that take away your power, and leaving, that gold, that piece of yourself that's so essential, the diamond core of you.
Let's bring in a guest. It'll be Jesus, and how no organization or man-made structure can actually be a substitute for love or you owning your own inner authentic power. But there might be just a simpler way to say, be happy in this very moment for no reason whatsoever. As soon as I find the photo, I'm pulling them up one of these days. Hold on. I got them right here. Here we go. Okay, what's Jesus have as a reminder for all of us that you're already fully connected? And if you don't mind getting like three gorgeous big hugs from him in succession, so you either giggle, smile, breathe more at home. People can put a hand out and feel him like a fireplace, but not fire. It'll be sparkle, warmth, good cheer. You might hear his voice. He can be very humorous. Ask him for a hug, get a hug. 1,000 ways to feel a hug. Goosebump on the left arm, back of the neck. Full hug, wind in the room. 1,000 ways to feel a hug. What will you allow for today? Elaine, what are you getting from Jesus for all of us about just letting go more, allowing more, living more?
Yeah, he's just laughing. So I'm thinking we should laugh more, especially in these times. It's really important to keep your sense of humor and joy and feel those higher vibrational emotions.
Hmm.
That will do a lot to counteract the negative frequencies and the lower frequencies.
And I'm going to put up an angel named Lucy, who's patience, who's a very big angel. Here's Lucy. The negativity, the stuff that's gone into overdrive to try to last gasp. What does Lucy have to say? We don't need to pay too much attention there. What's Lucy's advice for going day to day and keeping your chin up?
It's the little things. It's very commonsensical. So everything around us is a miracle. Everything, I mean, if you think about it, it's just a miracle that I'm being connected to you, right? From Arizona to San Antonio. That is amazing. Um, Everything in your house, all your smartphone. That's a miracle in itself. And so it's just your loved ones, your pets, everything around you, you can appreciate. And so every day, if you have that kind of appreciation, it really does help to create a bubble of love around you while you're walking through the world.
And I think Einstein had that great quote about miracles and how either everything you're looking at is a miracle or it's not. Are you here? Are you up here? But I'm not doing the right quote. One more angel for you. Do you want Gabriel, Penelope, or both at the same time?
Oh,
Okay, now Penelope's a very young, fun angel, hasn't done a stint as a human just yet. You can see a smiley face in there. And then Archangel Gabriel, he's super fun. What are they saying?
okay. So Penelope, she's gotten me into anime.
I totally forgot you've totally connected with her and had a lot of good interactions. I totally blanked. Um, awesome. Keep going.
And so, oh, I didn't know I was going to talk about this. I'm going to I'm going to give K-pop Demon Hunter a
Sure.
plug
Sure.
because that is an amazing film. I watch it like 10 times. A lot of it, I don't know if anybody else would agree to this, but I feel a lot of Lemurian energy,
Mm.
healing energy from that particular film. And and they've done it in a way that's like so much higher in terms of quality than many of the videos out there, many of the films out there. Um, there's a lot of psychological information that talks about how to become authentic
Hmm.
and showing yourself as flawed, not being afraid to show yourself as flawed because of other people's judgments. And the really important thing is don't judge yourself.
Mm.
If you're flawed, I mean, we're the ones who know, right? each individual person knows their own flaws, and most people hide it.
Mhm.
And then you have the addictions, then you have all these behaviors that are trying to make up for that, escape from that. And so in this movie, what they're doing is they're showing you from different perspectives the three demon hunters,
Mhm.
the female K-pop group. They each have their own flaws, but in the end, they show their flaws and accept each other, and that's when they're the most powerful.
Mhm.
And they also go around killing demons. There's and I don't generally like to delve into those realms, but
But that'll
I've
be the next
had,
question as well. So,
yeah, but I've had dealings with lower frequency entities, dark entities. Um, and the way that I'm being told right now to deal with them is to transmit more light to them. Now,
mhm.
what happens is it looks like you're destroying them
Mhm.
because they can't handle all that light, but
Mhm.
you're actually transforming them
Mhm.
and they're out of this dimension and they're
Mhm.
going someplace else. And
This
that's
is awesome. This
and
is
this is
awesome
what
because
we need to do.
here's four archangels: Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, Uriel. I call them rainbow pie slices, but I'll do two different photos. One over the house from 10 or 12 years ago. It's all the archangels plus Metatron in the back. I was sitting on a couch, heard, go grab the sure shot camera and go outside. And luckily, I didn't mouth off and be like, wait, what? I just went out and did it. Here's one photo of archangels over the house physically, and Metatron's the little guy in the back right there. And then four archangels. There's three more off camera. I cropped it. Which one do you want me to use?
Uh, the one with Metatron.
Okay. So, I mean, I've seen negativity as black light. I've seen it in jumping into people. And I'm sure there was something I was supposed to say, but it doesn't matter. The point is, uh, done. But there are broader forces at work that aren't fun, aren't loving, that are all about control right now and really trying to take down as many people as possible. We don't have to put our focus there. We can trust more, love more, allow more. Talk to us about that juxtaposition. There is so much more contrast. If we thought there was contrast 10 years ago, 100 years ago, 1,000 years ago, somehow we even have more contrast. We had so much before. What do we do in the face of so much contrast? Just love and shine as much as we can.
Mm-hmm. That's really the answer, isn't it? We just have to expand, allow ourselves to expand and to awaken as much as possible, because that's what we're here to do. When we do that, we're helping everybody else expand as well, because it's like osmosis. At the energetic levels, we teach each other, even though we may not consciously know what's going on. But there's a lot happening in the energetic realms with the change of the patterns, with the change of the templates, um, even different kinds of frequencies, like from beyond this world. And so all of that goes into the changes that we're going to be experiencing in 2026, 2027, 2028.
Okay, so very, very specific question. And I have Gabriel and I have an artistic version of Geronimo for this. But the whole concept of a lower vibration entity or just people who believe in greed, assassination, power, lots of money, and so on, telling others how to think and be. Uh, their whole raison d'etre is to keep doing what they're doing. There's very little awareness growing. Will we see some of those folks maybe have extra bad dreams or wake up in the middle of the night, look in the mirror and be like, maybe I should change my ways? What's happening for folks who are committed? I'm a defense contractor in Parador, and I've done some bad stuff with 200 other people. are any of these people necessarily going to change their ways, or is it just everyone's getting impacted on Earth? We all just need to focus on our lane. How would you like to describe it? But here's Gabriel and here's Geronimo, a little bent. Geronimo's going to be very blunt and very direct. Gabriel's going to be very 1 mile up, 10 miles, 100 miles up. There's a lot of actors doing a lot of acting running around, and each to their own. And there's certainly consequences for their actions, but we're not the ones that are responsible for all that.
Yeah, so the question is, what do we do about it?
No, what are the people who are running around doing so much control? And let's say the last 100 years, there's been a lot of efforts at keeping humans occupied.
Yes.
Um, what about those folks? Not much that can be done. They're already focused on their ways.
Oh, well, it depends. It
What's Gabriel say first? He'll be big picture. Each person's given the opportunity for growth and expansion.
each person is, yeah.
Okay.
And so there will be some who turn. I don't know what the numbers would be, but probably the minority. Most people are really entrenched in their particular way of being.
So, and I can give an angel quote, there's no such thing as right or wrong. There is proper understanding. With
Mhm.
that, can Geronimo be a little blunt? Here's Geronimo. Thank you. What's Geronimo saying?
He sees a lot of punishment.
Oh my God. Because I mean, the scale of not loving human beings and not loving life and not treating people as you wish to be treated, regard others as yourself,
Mhm,
um, without fixation and
mhm.
with as much love as possible. That ignoring of that almost, but I know that's not possible, seems to be off the charts right now. I'm literally coming off a day or so where I keep asking about this because I'm still stunned at the level of not embracing, at the level of unlove that's going on. And so one more with Geronimo. What does he say about the ones doing so much unlove? How can we take heart and know that if we just shine love, it's all good. It all sort of works out. There's not much people can do about it. It's like when you pull a plug from a full tub, eventually it starts swirling at the end. The water does drain from the tub. Is the tub draining, Elaine? Does Geronimo say this earth tub is draining a little?
Oh, I'm sorry, I don't really understand the metaphor. So
Oh,
what is the
oh, that's okay. Just
water?
what's Geronimo say about the state of affairs on Earth right now? I think we said it just the
Yeah.
right way.
Um, yeah, it's pretty crappy.
Yeah. I didn't know, yeah, the level of unlove being transacted. I had no idea. And I've been 57 years on this planet, but I didn't understand it, and I still don't, and I don't need to understand it because my focus just needs to be on fun stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah, and that's it. Okay, just a few more figures. I'm going to get you Big Mary, and you're already fully plugged in with her, but I'm still going to show if you're from Europe, you'd have to have this traditional photo. So lock that in. And I'm going to get you one more, what I like to call the modern version of Mary. This photo will move, sparkle more. It's a historical photo of just someone. You can see rainbow flecks of light all around you in the room, catch a lot of love and light. And what's Mary's message for us all? Remember, she's love. She's everything we need. If we all had her faith and trust, there'd be no more need for daily fear or worry. She's big. What are you getting, feeling, seeing with Mary?
Yeah, it's mostly about trust.
Talk to us about trust. Trust more, worry less.
Trust and faith. people need more trust in themselves rather than in the outside institutions, rather than authority figures, um, trust in their inner wisdom, because um, yeah, I mean, that part of our development, when we're growing up, that part is often repressed or berated, and it doesn't get a chance to grow and develop. And so it doesn't matter what level you're at in terms of your inner wisdom. Just trust that you know what's best for you.
Mm. Beautiful. Another one of those beautifully spoken things. I'm gonna light a little bit of sage. We're gonna clear the air. So many serious topics. But I still feel like you've provided a tremendous service for us all and those who watch in the years ahead. So be sure to comment, like, subscribe. And what did Elaine say that resonated most? If you're shy, put an emoji down. If you're really bold, though, do 3 emojis. Okay, I'm gonna light some sage. You get to catch sage through the screen. You're in Arizona. I'm in Texas. What happens here? Catch some sage, catch flowers, catch light. Close your eyes and see light. It could be anything. Let angels do all the heavy lifting. Elaine, is this fun to do? Do you like smelling the sage on the other side of the screen?
Yeah, it's easy.
That was awesome. That was the best answer in 400 tapings. Okay, here we go. Sage, are you already getting it? You were getting it as I was lighting it. Yep. And then if you could get something extra, let angels throw you the curveball, gentle, not in the head. Flowers, light, Rosa rugosa, petunias. I don't know. It doesn't have to be flowers, though. I can't think of anything else. Uh, About to name another flower. The smell of the rain in the desert right after it rained. What are you getting? It could be ocean. A little sea spritz on the face. You actually felt water. There's a wind in the room. What are you getting that's extra? The smell of double mint gum.
Citrus.
Oh, good. Oh, and I gotta snub this out, or I'm gonna get a lot of smoke drifting by, and we might miss a ball of light that often flies through. Elaine had interdimensional beings fly through in one of the episodes. We have Jennifer Passavant, if you want to look, I think it's 3 times out of 4 times we've had balls of light come by, including out of like a movie poster behind her that went up and around. That was incredible. We have Dr. Ia Whiteley, ex-European Space Agency in the UK. She had an archangel fly right over her head. A South Afrikaner in a person born in South Africa in Germany, another one who was from that country living in France. They each had balls of light. I mean, there's tons of guests, so maybe we'll be surprised. I'm going to show a little light meanwhile here, then I'll go bigger and wider. And if you could pick one angel out loud to be your chaperone, your guide, your fun guru for this, do you want Joy? Do you want Charlotte? Minn? Could you just name any angel that's popping in saying, pick me? Joy. Okay. So I'm going to just show a little bit of light. It's auras. I put my fingers up. I do this on a lot of the shows. I forget. I almost forgot today. People get to see with your heart, see with all of you. Trust more. Don't think. Don't use this. Receive all. You'll see colors, but when I go bigger and wider, you might get an image. 2 people got cardinals. 2 people got phoenixes. People get gems, balls of light, vortices, ascended masters, if you like that phrase, faces. It could be anything. You can close your eyes and start to see it. You can put your hands out and get the light in your hands. What will you allow for? Just take a breath and relax on this. I'll tell a dad joke. Where in a hospital is the worst place to play hide and seek? Where? In the ICU. Okay. If you're laughing, you're letting go. Elaine, what are you seeing between my fingers for light?
Lots of light.
Okay. And what are you getting now?
It's, I'm being distracted by the shadow. Yeah, it's a ball of light.
Okay, let me see if there's anything else. I'm going to put up a crystal. You have a million in the room with you, but I'm going to put up the selenite and just feel what you can feel, see what you can see, hear what you can hear. Maybe the selenite has a final little mantra as we start to close out for all of us. What's the reminder from selenite crystal, the consciousness of selenite energy for humanity?
Be your essential self.
Oh, and last but not least, with your permission, I'm going to whoosh 3 times from Texas to Arizona, but maybe not, with angels helping. So I've got a microphone down below. I'm going to blow. I'm going to whoosh. Are you ready? Okay. It does feel a lot of love and light. Whoever knows, who knows what it could be. Allow for what you can allow for. This is feeling over thinking. This is love over brain. Um, yeah, I'll quote a NASA astronaut. Getting out of the comfortable path. That's what exploration is all about. Story Musgrave. We're gonna do a little exploring. Let's find out. Okay, little, medium, and big. Let's do little, but anybody at home wants to jump right to big, you can. Here it comes. Elaine Yoshikawa in Arizona. Did you feel that?
I felt a wave.
What was it like?
It was, excuse me, it was a gentle push. So I had to keep myself up.
Okay, here comes one, but maybe we can add citrus, love, or get like 3 or 4 cosmic figures, angels, light beings, somebody fun to sass it up. Sass it up is the expression. You never know what each moment will bring you if you'll simply pay attention. So let's pay attention a little more. Let's not. Let's just let go. Here we go. Ooh, my right ear went off the charts. No triota, always try Archangel Gabriel. They're both correct. It's not about words. So if it's not about words, what did you just experience, Elaine? What are you experiencing? We're pulling you out of it now.
It's pushing me up onto another planet.
And we're going to do one more. Maybe we can have this boomerang. I tried to say ricochet, but boomerang off of you into your whole premises. So people don't have, you can be like a lighthouse and you capture the light, but you shoot it out in a bunch of different directions and light up your pooch, your plants, your walls, your toothbrush. Let's make it up. Okay, here comes the last big whoosh, and then we're going to have you really wax poetic at the end. So you're going to close us out. You've done this show plenty of times. You've done great today. You've handled really tough topics. Are you ready for one last big push? Okay, here we go. It's like a game show, or like Lawrence of Arabia with that British general. One big final push. Okay, here we go. And I'll buy a little time for her. We have mind, body, spirit panels. That's usually 3 guests, 90 minutes to 120. They chat with each other, they go back and forth. It's so much offered up for all of us. It's so incredible. The dialogues that go down, plus they take steps with the universe and oftentimes do joint seeing, hearing, feeling. This isn't about any one person or any one concept, just that's more thinking. This is about you tapping what you've already got. You're all samurai. You're all Zen masters out there. You're all gurus. Just don't think about it. Okay, Elaine, I bought time. I delayed as long as I could. What did you just go through? What did you experience?
Yeah, hard to describe. It was a lot of energy where I was being uplifted and pushed into different dimensions.
Very dimensional. I like it. Okay, just give us, like, pretend we're all at a coffee shop, we bump into each other. We're all like, hey, what's the secret in life? What do we need to know? What do we do daily again? How do we get out of the unconscious, conscious mind, whatever you want to call it? Labels don't really matter. How do we get into our hearts more? Elaine, what do we need to remember again?
Get into our hearts more. Hmm. Yeah, it has something to do with walking a path of joy. Um, Remember what it was like to be a child at the very beginning.
It's that simple.
It really is because we remember when we come in
Ooh,
who we are, and then we forget.
I like that. ELAINE Yoshikawa, I did not go through your background too much, but it's in the other videos. It'll be below this video. You have incredible societal accomplishments, professional musician, teacher, professor type, author, um, software engineer, if I got that right. PhD, I can get this right, from ASU, a master's from ASU, a BA from Berkeley, plus all the meta knowledge you've got. But at the end of the day, what's your last reminder about it's not about the externals and how every one of us is a walking meta encyclopedia within? What's your final reminder how it's all within us? Do you have words of encouragement?
It can be easy if you let it.
Ah, no words have ever been spoken that are that like more simple than that. I love that. Thank you very much, Elaine, for being on the show. Angels, positivity, and love. You're fabulous. Thank you.
Thank you.